I'm joined now by a woman who epitomizes staying power in the workplace. Alice Newman is the front office manager for the mayor's office, a position she has held since the Delaney administration.
Correct.
Under 5 mayors. Alice, we're delighted to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the honor.
So you were recently honored for 25 years of service. That's quite a landmark. How do you describe your years in the mayor's office?
Interesting. Well, I'm here to serve. So my main job is to serve the community, serve the constituents, and more so take care of the mayor and my office staff, which is my family on the floor.
And you have seen mayors come and go, 5 of them, different parties. How do you maintain your apolitical, kind of nonpartisan position when you're serving under so many different types of leaders with so many different political ideologies?
Well, every mayor have their goal, their vision, and more so what they want to accomplish within the city of Jax. For as myself, I'm there to serve them, but my main priority is to focus on their goal for is taking care of the community and be a servant. And that's where I kind of be not so much nonchalant, but basically stay in my lane and do my job.
Mm-hmm. And so your role there involves a lot of interface with the community. You, at least one time, used to take a lot of calls. I don't know if that falls to you primarily still, but you're dealing with tons of people coming and going from that office all the time. How do you manage that job of being the public face of the mayor's office?
Well, first of all, I like versatility. I like to multitask. My first job is to greet customers, answer the phone. I'm an executive assistant as well for as a manager. I process contracts and I do a lot, but I love people and I deal with the have and have nots. But whenever they come to the mayor's office, they're seeking guidance. And some people want counseling and some people are looking for help.
You also interact with a lot of people who don't work in City Hall. I actually was talking to Jim Piggott yesterday. He's a Channel 4 reporter. I think you get to see him just about every single day.
Correct.
He's on the City Hall beat. For people who don't know, he goes there every day to the mayor's office, checks in, and he told me to ask you about a present that he brought you back from his recent trip.
Okay.
Are you able
For
to...
the shot glass he
Yep.
bought me? Yes. I think he went to either Rome.
Uh-huh.
And he brought me back a gift.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a good friend.
Yeah. So you obviously interact with a lot of people, but the city has changed since you began this job. How has the city changed in your interpretation?
Well, we got, it started out with the Colts during Jack Godbold era. I started with victim services. So I saw us build a new stadium. We got the Jaguars. A lot of the trail, we got the trail for people to walk. I have just seen the city grow, which is good. It's always good. Growth is good. Sometimes people have a problem with growth, but I have just seen so much and just seen so many people. And it's just a blessing, to be honest.
And you've served under 5 mayors. It's worth noting there was a little hiccup there for one of the mayors.
Correct.
Tell us what happened there.
Well, I'm an appointed employee with Alvin Brown's administration. He went in another direction. I'll say it like that. But I'm a firm believer that God does everything for a reason. And throughout my career, I talked about entities, Jack's Aviation Authority, Jack's Port. We got so many different entities. And after he went in another direction, God planted a seed with me to go in another direction. And I went over to Jack's Port. And I learned a lot about logistics, containers, cargo. It's always good to know what they actually do now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened.
I think it's a testament to your value to the city, though, that you were then immediately brought back and now have served under 3 additional mayors.
Thank you so much. And I'm grateful to Mayor Lenny Curry. At first, I was a little hesitant about coming back because after every 4 years, you have to turn in your resignation. So Mayor Curry asked me to come back and work on his transition. Um, my family was government because I was there for 17 years, and I'm grateful for that honor to continue to be able to serve the city.
Do you find that your friends and family members are constantly pumping you for information, gossip, like what's going on in City Hall? Do you try to just rise above? How do you maintain, your identity outside of City Hall?
Well, I'm a bowler, so I have a lot of friends that bowl. I travel bowling. When it comes down to city government, when I leave city government, I leave city government. I had to learn that through Naomi Glover, who was my mentor. And she served 5 mayors. She's died in Delaney's administration. And she taught me how to kind of detox, meaning separate when I leave the floor and when I leave city government. I don't like talking politics when I'm off from work. So that's one of my main things. I do other things and got grandchildren, and I work with AAU basketball with kids, and I just don't talk about politics that much once I'm off from work.
Yeah, and would you have like a strategy when you're leaving? Do you have kind of a process that you go through?
Well, normally I'm always having something to do. If it's not volunteering at Impact Christian Academy or I have a 90-year-old mother. So when I leave work, I'm always having something to do.
Mhm.
So when I leave, I leave.
Do you have any recommendations about how to maintain your longevity at a job? I mean, it really is quite a milestone,
Thank
25
you,
years.
Ann. Well, you have to be humble. That's the first thing. Be humble within yourself and know how to guide your mind once you have to separate from city government. I love working with people. I love helping people. I love helping my city employees as well. It's not about Alice. I think that's the main thing. It's not about me. It's about the people who I serve.
And you're planning to stay for another 25 years? What's next?
Oh, God, Jesus. I don't like to plan life because that's what God controls. I would love to be able to serve Donna Deegan for 8 years if my mind stays sharp and my health stays sharp. But I don't like to plan saying 25 years because it's not promised. And that's just my philosophy.
Well, I hope to continue seeing you behind the desk when I come up to the fourth floor.
It's always a pleasure, Ann.
It's so nice to have you here, Alice. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure.